Usually when I talk to someone who's never created a Facebook ad before and they ask me how to get started and we start talking, I usually notice that they think that setting up the Facebook ad is actually difficult. While I would say it's the complete opposite. The actual setting up, like which buttons to click, that's actually the easy part. The hard part is what you just been through. The hard part is actually coming up with your messaging and like what kind of words to actually write, what kind of image to create. Are you going to create a story? Are you going to write a story? And if so, what kind of story? Are you going to create a video ad? And if so, how are you going to create that video? What's the video going to say? Those are the things that are hard, and that's what I've covered throughout this section up until this point. Now, once you're clear on like what your actual ad is going to look like, what kind of text you're going to use, what kind of image to actually create, once you have all of that prepared, the creation of your ad is actually simple because all you need to do is press a couple of buttons. And I don't want to make that sound like I don't want to be speaking of this lightly, but that's not the hard part. The hard part is really your messaging and how you actually write it all. So in this video, I'm actually just going to show you, once you went through all of these previous videos, how you would actually create your Facebook ad inside the Facebook ads platform. So right here, I'm in a brand new campaign, a brand new account. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new campaign. Now, first thing you'll notice is that there's various options you need to choose between. First of all, I'm going to give you a campaign name. And as I told you before in the very first module, is we have the campaign and then ad set and then ad structure. And you'll see the exact same thing here. First of all, a campaign, you can immediately create a new ad set under that campaign and immediately create a new ad under that ad set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this a test campaign. Now, obviously, there's various ways you can choose between here. Now, this is actually something that I'm going to cover in a later module. I show you exactly what's recommended, how you will get the best results, how you will get a good ROI, or at least the highest chances of getting a good ROI. So I'll cover this in a later module. So for now, I'll just keep it at traffic for now, and I'm going to call it. I'm going to create a ad set. So test ad set, and I'm going to create an test ad. And the reason why I just created test ad is this is just for demonstration purposes, because right now at this point in the course I want you to know how to create the ad, and then later on, once all the pieces will come together, you will already have the ads prepared, you will already know how to create the ads, and we can just keep on rolling forward, keep on going forward. So I'm going to save it as a draft, and just so you're familiar with this, I'm currently inside of the Facebook ads Power Editor. I'm usually doing most of my work inside of the Power Editor, which you can find at business.facebook.com, assuming you have a business account, /ads/manage/Power Editor. And don't let that word overwhelm you. It's actually not harder, at least I find it not harder than the other one. It's just a different system. So if this is the one that you're getting used to from the start, I would say you're better off right away. So now that we've created a test campaign, you'll see that right here you'll have a tab called Account Overview. We've got a tab called Campaigns, where you'll find all the campaigns. Right now we just created one. We have a tab called Ad Sets, and we have a tab called Ads. So once again, inside the campaign we've created one ad set, and inside that one ad set we have created one ad so far. So if you want to make changes to the campaign, you can select it and then click on Edit. You can do the exact same thing on the ad set, so you can select the ad set and then click on Edit. Once again, most of these settings we'll go into later on in this actual course. Right now, I just want you to make sure that you know what kind of settings you will be able to select on the ad set level. So this is where you, for example, you would set your budget. How much money would you actually spend for this particular campaign, which we're going to go into later on as well. How you will actually bid, where the ads will actually show, like what's your audience, who's going to see your actual ad, and also the placement. So for example, is it just going to show up on the Facebook newsfeed or anywhere else? Once again, we'll go into this in more detail later on as well. Right now I really just want to focus on the actual Facebook ad creation. So for now, I'm just going to skip these settings and I'm going into the ads. And as you can see, there's one ad. And right now, as you can see, there's one missing error because I obviously have not yet created this ad. So basically, so far we talked about two main ads, which are the image ad and the video ads. And those are the two types of ads that I use the most, as well as the carousel ad for the social proof ads as well. So I'll show you all of these. First of all, as you can see, you can select your Facebook page. So if you are, for example, going for a cold audience, I'd highly recommend you, which means that people have never heard of you before, to use a Facebook page with your own name, as I mentioned before. And if you're going to run ads on Instagram as well, which once again, we'll go into that later on, you can select your Facebook you can select your Facebook Instagram account. Now, for now, what I recommend you to do is just deselect Instagram, which you can do at the ad set level. So I'm going back into the ad set. I'm going to edit it. And at the placements, I'm actually going to disable Instagram for now, just to make sure that from this point onwards, I don't have to actually select an Instagram account, and I can just keep on going. Now, here we can select ad with an image or video, which means it will just be one image or one ad, which is the most frequently used. And this is the one where you have multiple things in a carousel, which I'm going to show you as well. This is what I use for the social proof ad that I showed you. So first of all, the ad with an image or video. Obviously, you'll need to select an image right here or a video. For example, if I already had one from before, let's say this one, it will immediately show up. If you have it in the right image dimensions, it will immediately show up as a big image. Here is your website URL where you want your traffic to go. Your display link, which is, as you can see right here, obviously has to be a link, is your URL, which will show up right here, which obviously should be your actual site. So even though if, for example, I would be sending people to viral.com/xyz, I can still just show viral.com if that's what I want. The text is, as I mentioned before, is the text that you have on top of here. That's also one of the reasons why I prefer the Power Editor, because it allows you to have more text right here, which is incredibly useful if you're running a story-based ad. So you can just paste all the text that you've written and put it right here. The headline is obviously this part right here. It will update, and then the description is right here. Now, the reason why I'm showing it like this instead of actually showing you the actual content is because obviously the content, what should go inside of all of these elements, I've actually been going through over the course up until this point. So if you're not sure what to actually put at every one of these things, I'd highly recommend you to go back and watch the previous videos inside of this actual training course. And finally, we have the call to action buttons right here. You see exactly what kind of options you have. Now, there's not a good or a bad practice, although I would recommend you to at least make sure, if you're using this, to make sure it's relevant. So let's say you are saying, purchase this now, like you have something for sale and it's like a physical product. Don't use download, because that doesn't make any sense at all. So you want to make sure it makes sense. Personally, I haven't never seen a really big major impact on having this or not having this. Typically we do have it because we get slightly better click-through rates if we do have it, but it's not something that is a big must. But if it doesn't, like if you see any option that is matching what you are trying to get them to do, then I would just recommend you to select that one so that there's an extra button that they can click. And obviously if it's an image ad, they can click all of this, but now this part just like an extra button, and it just makes it a little bit more clear that they can actually click on it. Now the same thing is if you want to have a video, you can just select video / slideshow, and you can just select your video ad right here, or upload it if you need to upload it first. Let me just show you that as well. Clear videos, select video, then you will just click on upload video and then select your video file from your computer. In this case, I'm just going to press select once again. And once again, all the text fields are the exact same right here. Now, if you're going to go for a social proof ad with like the multiple faces, then you would actually select this one, and then for every one of these, so right here you'll see 1, 2, 3 cards, and you can even create more cards. So you would create, this is the actual text, like this is what our customers are saying about it, and you'll see more examples of exactly what kind of text I'm putting here in the earlier one in this very course, in this very module. and you would then select all these settings that will go right here. For example, quote, I got over XXX results with YYY, and obviously this should be some kind of a testimonial. You can also say Matthew, for example, like that, to make sure it's actually clear that it's a person. And as the image, you would then upload a square image. As you can see right here, it's 1080 by 1080. So you would have to ask your customer or the person who's delivering your testimonial to send over a square image, or make it square and then upload it right here. And now if you're not sure what I'm currently talking about, make sure to watch the social proof ads video. That will explain everything. But this way you can set up your first one right here, then go to number 2 right here, number 3 right here, and all of these links would just go to the page where you want them to go. In this case, I would send them to a sales page, so it doesn't matter where someone would click, it would always go to the exact same landing page. And this way you can have a slider effect of like multiple testimonials with what people are saying about you.